Question 4 says, enter the value of 12 plus negative 18 minus 10 minus 23. Okay, so I'm looking for a value, but I have a mixture of addition and subtraction. I don't like working with subtraction, so I am going to change everything to addition. Okay, meaning I'm only going to change my subtraction signs. This first half of the problem is already addition, so I don't have to change any of that. What I do have to change, though, are the next part. So I'm going to circle my subtraction sign and box in the number I'm subtracting. So in this case, it's that 10. Okay. My next part of that expression is minus 23. Again, it's subtraction, so I want to circle my subtraction sign and box in the number I'm subtracting. This tells me what I need to rewrite. Okay. The first part, again, doesn't get touched, so it stays the same as 12 plus negative 18. Notice how I didn't change the negative 18 into a positive. We want to keep it the same. So if it's a negative, it stays a negative. Okay. This next part is when we start changing things. So my minus sign changes into a plus sign. My positive 10 has to change to a negative 10 because the opposite of a positive is a negative. Okay. Again, we have a subtraction sign, a minus sign, so we need to make it into an addition sign or a plus sign. Okay. And again, we have a positive 23, meaning that we need to change it to a negative 23. Again, I'll put a side note over here. Positive turns into a negative. Negative turns into a positive. Okay. Using this, now I have to work with two numbers at a time. So I'm going to work with these two first. I have to look at them. I have a positive 12 and a negative 18. Again, I'm going to put a side note on here. If I have a positive and a negative, I am going to subtract. If I have a negative and a negative, or a positive and a positive, I am going to add. So looking at this, again, I have a positive 12 and a negative 18, telling me I am going to subtract these two. My bigger number goes on top. So on the side over here, I'm going to subtract 18 minus 12. That is 6. Okay. If you guys need a little bit more explanation, 8 minus 2 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So it stays as the 6. Now I have to decide whether this solution is going to be positive or negative. Again, looking back at my 12 and my 18, I'm going to look at the bigger number. That is my 18. My 18 is a negative, making my answer also a negative. Okay. I'm going to bring down this plus sign. And now I'm going to work with these next two numbers. Again, looking at my rules on the side over here, I have two negatives. This tells me right here that I have to add. So I have to add 10 plus 23. 0 plus 3 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I have 33. And again, I have to decide whether my answer is going to be a negative or a positive. Looking at both of my answers, they're both negatives, telling me that this answer is also going to be a negative. Okay. Or again, this rule also applies. My bigger number, which is the 23, is negative. So my answer is going to be a negative. Okay. Now I have to add these two together. Okay. They're both negatives, telling me I'm going to add these together. So 33 plus 6. Okay. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 plus nothing is 3. Okay, so I have 39. And again, because they're both negatives, this final answer is going to be a negative. Now to write my claim, again, so the question is asking me for a value. So using that, I can write my claim. The value is negative 30.